Hi, this is Simon Leung back with G Live. Gotta tell you, it is great to be back here once again, but a little bit surreal now that I'm not here for hours and hours and hours of chunks time at a time, simply because, as you may or may not know, that was exactly what we did this past weekend. But regardless, if you're joining us live, give us a hashtag live. If you're joining us on the replay, give us a hashtag replay, because as always, we want to connect with you. Now, if you don't know, we just finished up on a weekend-long 36-hour event, which means that, yes, I am still recovering. And so if you don't know what I am talking about, we had our GrooveAsia launch event, which was 36 hours straight. It was a one-time only event. And this is, of course, the start of something spectacular, which we invite all of you to be a part of if you really want to. But of course, what I want to do right now is to give a huge thanks to everybody who actually made this happen, to all of our partners, to all of our hosts and co-hosts, to our moderators, our speakers, our guests, everybody else in between, including, of course, the participants, because if you were not there attending, then this all wouldn't have happened without you. So everybody as part of the Groove community, you all made it happen, and this is just the beginning of something extremely, extremely spectacular. And speaking of people who actually made things happen, I'm seeing a few friends whom I recognize inside the groups because, of course, you were a big part of the event as well. We see Trader Rob, who is saying, "I've got the brain, Groove's got the brawn. Let's make lots of money. Haha, I got Simon to sing." I'm not sure if that was really a song that I was singing, but just so that you know, interestingly enough, I was thinking of starting some type of a karaoke type of YouTube channel, maybe even do it live stream on my own personal channels if that's something that you're interested in, whether you want to participate as part of that or maybe you want to join me. Why not? Why don't we talk more about that? But I think that's something I'm going to be doing anyway because we're on total lockdown. Life is starting to get a little bit boring, and I think it's time to entertain ourselves doing a variety of different things. So very funny, Mr. Rob, that you brought that up. And funny enough, you're saying hashtag replay. In fact, I think you're on live with us. So maybe you're just doing that on purpose and pulling my leg. I'm not sure. Rob does have the tendency to do that. And just so all of you know, Rob was also one of our special guests on the affiliate panel. He was also very active in the background, obviously communicating with the speakers, interacting, engaging with fellow participants, just being a great leader. So definitely something that you should get to know. And speaking of leaders and people whom you want to get to know, yet another friend that we want to show you is Mr. Colin from KL in Malaysia. He's saying hi there. He was also very active during the actual 36-hour event, of course, minus the time that he had to actually go to bed, as we all did. But of course, we appreciate you, Colin, for not only showing up for those 36 hours as much as you can, but coming back here and being a big part of the community. And then Trader Rob is saying, "I'm in the picture. He. Yes, you definitely are." We also got Jivanjot saying, "It's the same for you. You made this happen. Thank you very much. We all made it happen together." And yes, just like what you mentioned next, we all made it happen. We did this together. It wouldn't have been able to happen the way that it did without every single one of us who actually participated. So that includes you. And thank you very much, Mr. Nicholas, who also, of course, another one of our special guests in the affiliate panel, also very active throughout the 36 hours as much as he could. He is also joining us live right here saying, hey, it's another groovy day. Yes, in fact, it absolutely is. And we're going to be doing a lot of really big things because, as I said before, we're only getting started, which I'm sure you also repeated a couple times as well, Mr. Nicholas. And so we know what's going on, don't we? Because we are on the inside. Mr. Rob is saying, GrooveAsia, bring it. Let's do it, right? Nicholas is saying hashtag live. We also have Carly, who is joining us, who is right now actually, again, we are live. You're watching us live, not on the replay. So good news for you. And then we also have Abdul, who is joining us and saying a big hello. Thank you very much to all of you who are joining us. I do recognize many of the names who are, of course, commenting and interacting because this is not your first time. It's not going to be the last time. And many of you were also a big part of the event as well that I was talking about, which definitely was a memorable time. If you are anything like me, I feel like it was a once in a lifetime type of experience that I personally will never forget. And it is indicative of a representation of brand new, exciting things to come. And of course, I want to invite all of you to be a part of that. Whether or not you had the opportunity to join us live or not, the good news is that there still might be an opportunity for you to not only catch the replays, but also have the opportunity to join us in what we are doing next. Okay, so just for those of you who do happen to be joining us for the very first time, because I did approve yet another few dozen of brand new community members right before I came on live. For those of you who are not aware, this past weekend, we did a live 36-hour straight event where it was commemorating the launch of GrooveAsia, which is one of many of Groove's expansion projects. And we featured basically 30 guests, which included partners. It included experts. It included co-hosts, speakers, special guests, and even celebrities. Just to let you know, if you do want a better idea of what I was talking about, I'm going to go ahead and type into the chat right here and feature it onto the screen so that you can see this as well. If you go to facebook.com/GrooveAsiaCM, okay, once again, that's facebook.com/GrooveAsiaCM, you will see that one of the recent posts that we posted right here on this page is, of course, commemorating the event, and not just what you saw moments ago, which was this particular banner right here. This is the promotional banner that we had on right before we actually went on live. But now that this is over, you can actually see screenshots of when these experts were actually live. And of course, as much as possible, I was hosting the event right here, as you can see. But we also featured just some of the best experts, not just the veterans, the CEO and co-founder of Groove himself, like Mike Filsane, also his partners, such as Matt Sorota right here. We also got Joe Jablonski. We also got Donna Fox. And we also have a lot of fellow Groove experts we saw earlier, from Mr. Nicholas right here. We also have Mr. Rob right here as well, and plenty more, such as Deb Cole, Coach Deb, and Tuan, and Joffrey, and many more people that you will continue to see right here on this page as well. So if you want to check it out, go to facebook.com/GrooveAsiaCM. Go ahead and interact with them. Go ahead and, leave them thanks or whatever else inside the comments, because this was totally one of the best experiences of many of us. Now, one thing that you will know though, and you will notice, is that the other post that we have right here is another screenshot that says the live stream recording is not available. And it's not because we don't want to be nice or anything. It's not because we want to be mean. It's actually because that's just the way it kind of works in many of the channels that we live streamed in. Now, just so that you know, many people did join us over the weekend on our live page. And I'm going to show you really quickly how that live page looks like. If you go to grooveasia.cm/live, okay, once again, that's grooveasia.cm/live. This is actually the actual page that we hosted this event on, right? It looks something like this. Now, if you come to this page right now, of course, during the 36-hour event, you would have seen that this entire thing was running the entire time because we were live, okay? Now, if I refresh the page, you'll actually see that right now, this thing over here, right, this embedded code, it doesn't show us the replay. It doesn't show us the live. It doesn't show us anything. In fact, it says this live stream recording is not available. If we go to another one of our YouTube channels, you actually see that this is right here, right? Normally, you would think, well, all these different Lemonade sessions with David Lemon, all these awesome pre-recorded videos, this 1 minute, 2 minute videos, right, that Elliot is creating, all these other previous live streams that I have done, if I just simply wanted to click on any one of these and watch the replay, I could, right? Simply click on it, and that's just how it works. Right over here, what you will notice is our live stream from the weekend, the 36-hour marathon, or Groovathon, if you will, that just so happens to be not just 36 hours, but 36 hours, 32 minutes, and 14 seconds. Now, if I want to click on this, just like how I would click on any one of the other videos, what you will see, once again, is that this live stream recording is not available. It's not because we turned it off. It's not because we said to YouTube, don't record this. In fact, we have no control over whether or not these get recorded or not. The thing about YouTube, and I think I mentioned this already before the live stream even went on, is that if a live stream just so happens to be more than 12 hours long, then unfortunately, the recording just isn't going to happen. So unfortunately, this means that if you go to youtube.com, if you go to our YouTube channel on Groove or GrooveAsia or any one of the other channels that we might have been streaming on over the weekend, unfortunately, these 36 hours, 32 minutes, and 14 seconds, unfortunately, are not recorded and saved on the YouTube server, which means that we don't have them on YouTube. In fact, here is what happened last time when we did the GrooveAthon, and this was back in October of 2020. We did a 14-day GrooveAthon, which is absolutely crazy, right? So if you think about it, the 36 hours that we did over the weekend, that was like absolutely nothing. But of course, this was a much bigger production with 300 plus hours, and I believe just dozens and dozens and dozens of speakers, plenty of co-hosts to make you go through the 2 weeks and everything. But as you can see, even if we go back to the GrooveAthon page right now, you'll see the epic 14-day GrooveAthon has ended, and we don't actually have the recording of that in public because this is only made available to those who upgrade to the Platinum account. Okay, so just so that you know, if you do happen to be somebody who is considering to upgrade, this is a great bonus because you also get the recordings of that epic 14-day GrooveAthon that is now over and which we're not able to see. Now, the good news for all of us, though, is that as mentioned, we did multi-stream across multiple pages, multiple groups, and multiple channels, which means that just because YouTube just so happened to not save, darn them, right, our 36-hour, 32 minutes, and 14 seconds worth of GrooveAthon in the recent GrooveAsia launch event, the good news is that the replay is still available in 8-hour chunks within our private Facebook communities as well as our groups. Okay, so with that, I want to invite you to go back to grooveasia.cm/live, which is right here. And now, as you can see, even though right here it says that you can't really see the recording because it's not available, when you scroll down a little bit, what you're going to see are links. Okay, links to not only our YouTube channel, but you'll also see links to our Facebook group as well as our Facebook page. And once you're there, and I will also type this in just so that you have a place of reference, okay? In addition to going to grooveasia.cm/live, you can also go directly to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/grooveasia.cm. And once you're there, you will come to this page that I showed you earlier. This is actually, if I scroll all the way to the top, okay, this is our grooveasia.cm Facebook page. This is one of the pages that we did live stream into. And so when you scroll down, you actually see that, yes, we are live right now, which is a live video. Okay, this is happening right now, as you can see. But when you take a look a little bit further down, you're also going to be able to see that over the weekend, we did have a few different streams over here, which you are able to see. These are the live recordings, once again, in 8-hour chunks of course, our GrooveAsia launch event. So if you do want to watch those, they are on this page in 8-hour chunks. I was looking at some of the comments, and some people were saying that they were disappointed that the 36-hour event was not recorded. I didn't get the chance to respond, but whomever happened to be watching this, or if you do happen to see those type of comments, let them know that, in fact, they are available. One of them is right here on the grooveasia.cm Facebook page. And another one is actually right here in our private Facebook group. And I'll type this in for you as well right here, which is facebook.com/groups facebook.com/GrooveAsiaCM. Okay, once again, that's facebook.com/groups/GrooveAsiaCM. If you happen to be on this page of grooveasia.cm/live, the good news is once you click on this or this will take you to our Facebook groups and Facebook pages. However, for the sake of keeping track of making sure that everybody knows what this is, we do want to make sure that we type that into the actual chat itself so that we can also highlight it onto the screen, facebook.com/groups/GrooveAsiaCM. And once you go there, whoops, this is the wrong page. I'm going to go ahead and click over here where it says group. Okay, and it'll take you right there. That was June, by the way, who happens to be another one of our VIP guests from the affiliate panel. Also a very active Groovester. We're going to be doing a lot more with her, so stay tuned. We will be hearing more from her later on. But as you can see, this is our private Facebook group, and in the last couple of weeks, we have definitely grown tremendously from just a handful of people to over 1,500 before the actual launch event actually happened. And now, over the last few days, we also continue to grow by a few hundred to up to close to 2,000 members now. So stay tuned. This is definitely going to be a very, very active community. But as you can also see, in addition to the live streams that we're doing right now, we also have some videos that we want to provide to you as bonuses that you can use for your own promotional efforts. We also have these live streams that you're watching right now that's going on at this moment. We also have some additional private community chats and opportunities that you can see right here. New opportunity available for multilingual speakers and trainers, with a lot of people expressing their interest. So far, as you can see, 23 comments. And so definitely something that you're going to want to be a part of if this is something that you want to do, whether it's this project or another one. This one is another one about this video being live right now, as well as some other posts that we're making over here. A lot of private communication, as well as, of course, many different live streams that you can also find right here. This is the launch event recording, which you'll be able to find. So multiple ones and multiple ways that you'll be able to see all of these right here inside of this group, in combination of course, a lot of different private trainings that we will also continue to give you right here inside of this group, as well as some additional resources. So if you're interested in being a bigger part of everything that we do, come over here to facebook.com/groups/GrooveAsiaCM, and you will see yet another ultimately tremendously powerful way for all of us to connect, because you are literally going to see all these different types of posts that you are not going to see anywhere else. And we, of course, are going to be very, very active in this community. Okay, so with all of that, it's basically one big invitation for any single one of you to connect with us into a variety of different ways that you want to. If you want to relive some of the magic that we experienced over the weekend, come over here to grooveasia.cm/live. This is the page that was actually live during the 36 hours. You will, of course, be able to see a lot of the things that happened. If you want to take a look at, right here on the agenda, on the schedule, and if you want to, of course, specifically take a look at the recordings themselves, they currently are, at least for a limited time. We don't know when we'll take them down, but chances are they won't be up forever. Go here to our groups and our pages, and you will have the opportunity to catch them on the replay. Okay, so with that, that is pretty much the updates, the first update after the actual launch events that we have for you here today. But before that, we're going to go ahead and check out just some of the comments that we have right here. And Tropical Cabbage has a very good question, but a comment that we'll read up on anyway. Tropical Cabbage says, good morning. Great to hear that you have these recordings. I had recently checked YT and received the error. Are there timestamps on the 8-hour chunk so that we can jump to specific content? The answer is no. As I'm sure you can imagine, these are 8-hour chunks with 36 hours. So we're not going to, I don't think so, put the timestamps on those, because we definitely have a lot better things to do with our time than to go through the recordings. But you, of course, the good news is you have the capability to fast forward if you wanted to. You can skip through to different speakers if you want to. However, because the entire 36 hours to me was one giant, tremendously powerful and valuable experience, I'm sure that you would be able to find value depending on, you know, what you want to listen to. And maybe for even every single speaker, there will be multiple chunks where you will be able to find some nuggets inside as well. So I highly recommend that. If you, of course, don't have the 36 hours, who does, right away, to watch them all at once, you can skim through them to see the important ones. I personally recommend the ones where we're featuring Mike, of course, we're featuring Donna, and any one of the co-founders. Take a look at some of the speakers, which once again, if you go through over here, you will be able to see the live schedule. Keep in mind, the schedule did change over these 36 hours. So that's another reason why the timestamps were not made available, because we simply do not have that. And plus, on Facebook, timestamps don't actually work that well. Okay, so with that, a lot of reasons behind that, of course, but obviously we want to make sure that with the time that we do have, we're gonna spend it towards progressing, right? Doing the next big thing that is gonna be a huge impact to all of us. And I'm sure we're all waiting and eagerly anticipating the next exciting thing that is to happen. And so we're all gonna start to collectively work on that. And if you go to our Facebook, which one was it? Right here. This is our Facebook profile. Now, this is our group right here. You'll see right here at the top, our recent one is that we are already creating brand new opportunities for our members. Okay, so that's where we're going to be spending the majority of our time. That is definitely where it's going to be much more valuable. And of course, Mr. or Miss Tropical Cabbage, if you want to be a big part of that, we invite you to be as well. All right, going back into our comments, scrolling up to the top now. Trader Rob is saying GrooveAsia, bring it. Nicholas is saying hashtag live. Abdul was saying hello. We have Sri, who is also joining us. Hashtag live. Great to see you, as always. And then Rob is saying to Nicholas, was there for like over 30 hours. Man is a machine. Yes, 30 hours is crazy. And I think you were there for a lot of the time as well. So definitely, you know, another big encouragement for Trader Cabbage, Tropical Cabbage, if you want to be a big part of everything and get all caught up. Obviously, the best way was to join us live as it was happening, but the next best thing is to catch the recordings. Nicholas is also saying, it was a journey. I'll never forget, tiring, but absolutely worth every second in being there. I absolutely agree. Very exhausting. And that's why for the last couple of days, and still, I am recovering still. But of course, I think I'm 80% there, maybe. But regardless, lots of cool things that are going to be coming up next. So I do want to incorporate you, as well as Trader Rob, who are, of course, our community leaders, a big part of the event. Let's talk very soon, the three of us, about how else we can bring more value to the community itself. We also have Trader Rob here, who's saying, who wants to see Simon rock out Paradise City? Give me a do it. That is funny. We'll see what happens, Mr. Rob. There's definitely a lot more that we should be doing. Rob is saying Tropical Cabbage is a great name. It is, considering that I also made the mistake. It was funny because over the 36-hour event, a lot of people looking at Trader Rob always kept calling him Trader Joe, right? By mistake, obviously, because Trader Joe is a much more common name. Coach Deb was saying she also has a friend named Trader Joe. And so taking a look at Trader Rob and thinking a million miles an hour is very easy to make the mistake, which is very similar to the same mistake that I made earlier, calling Tropical Cabbage. And I keep saying that Tropical Package or whatever else. I also said Trader Cabbage at one point, but Tropical Cabbage, maybe one of these days, I will, of course, say this name correctly consistently, okay? And Tropical Cabbage is saying, got it, thank you. So is there a timeline of the event so that we can work to match up approximate time? I think that's, yes, Tropical Cabbage just saw that. I do recommend, by the way, that if possible, you turn on the notifications so that you can join us from the beginning, because I actually mentioned that also right in the beginning of this particular session. And a lot of times we actually see a lot of different questions that come up which were already answered. So of course, we appreciate you. We appreciate your time. We want to see you all the way from the beginning. Turn on those notifications if you can, so that you can join us right from the start if possible, so that we can start that conversation right from the beginning, so that we can enjoy your presence the entire time. And then Trader Rob says LMAO, Trader Cabbage. Too funny, right? So awesome. So again, a little bit not used to it, but we're going to call it quits just under 30 minutes as opposed to over 30 hours. But this is the way it's going to go once again for the foreseeable future, unless we have enough votes for us to do another Groovathon or a mini Groovathon or a 12-hour, 24-hour, 10-hour, 5-hour, 6-hour, whatever it is that we vote for. If this is something that you want, let us know, and let's make it a point. Now that it's not going to be a launch event, it will be a next event that we are doing. So we invite you to be a part of it. If that is something that you do ultimately want to see, then obviously we want you to be a big participant. Vote for it. Let us know if this is what you want, and let's go ahead and do it. In summary of what we talked about here today, yes, the GrooveAsia launch event, it may be over. Woohoo, right? As they say, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened, because this is going to be so amazing that it's just the beginning stepping stones of what we're going to be doing next, okay? As we mentioned, we are, of course, just simply getting started. And if you happen to be joining us right here, right now, you are at the right place and at the right time. Take and be a big part of it by joining us. Watch the replays while they're still available in those 8-hour chunks. Join us for as many of those 36 hours as you can, simply because this will give you a much bigger idea on where this is heading towards the future. Now we've launched, which means that now it's game time. So if you want to be a bigger part of what we are doing now, what we plan to be doing in the future, as we mentioned, now is the absolute best time. If you need to, join our groups. Take a look at some of the opportunities, okay? Invite yourself to be a part of our volunteer groups and our community and do all these different things. Reach out to me personally if you need to, because there's just so many different types of projects that I already have in my mind going a million miles an hour. And the only way that I will be able to pull them off is when we have as many active leaders as possible. Okay, notice I said leaders, not just participants, not just people who say, yes, I want to help, but ultimately disappear, not people who say, I want to be a part of it, but we never hear from them, not whom people that we add into a group and I don't even know who they are because they never respond to one message. We want you to be a leader. You need to be a leader. You need to step up, because now is the time. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. For those of you who know a little bit about me, about the way that I do things, when I say I'm going to do something, it happens. When I first proposed 36 hours, everyone around me called me crazy, right? That's nuts, especially if you are the only one doing it. Or maybe if you get just 1 or 2 co-hosts, that's still crazy, right? Because for the 14-day Groovathon, we had dozens of guests, dozens of speakers, and half a dozen or so of hosts and co-hosts, right? This one was done all by me, as well as Donna, and of course, many of the moderators who happen to be in the back, right, in the studio. And so with all of that, even though it seemed, extraordinary, we still went ahead and did it. And so now is the time. Now is my next step to say the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to make any leaders of GrooveAsia a part of the community. We're going to make sure that you participate in projects that we propose, that we're going to take action on, and you are going to make huge successes of yourself as well as fellow community members who want to be a part of it. So the next question is, do you, right? Do you want to be a part of it? How big of a part do you want to be a part of it? Because right now is that time. I'm sorry for all of you who maybe join us a month later, 6 months later, a year down the road, who might just be catching this recording, right? Because yes, this one, unlike the 36-hour Groovathon of the launch event, this one is recorded and it will be available for the long haul. And if you somehow missed that opportunity, the right place and the right time, well, maybe there will be another opportunity at that point in time. I don't know, whenever you might be watching this. But for those of you who are watching this live or not too soon after the live recording, the good news is that there is a big one right now. And that's because, as you know, GrooveAsia just launched. It's just getting started. We're literally just 2 days after the launch event. There is no better time than right now, okay? Other than maybe yesterday. But right now is when we're 80% recovered. And now we're going to go ahead to anybody who responds, who are active, who reaches out to me personally and say, I want to be a big part of everything that we do, right? Now is the time. As Trader Rob says, take action or get a hold of us in the help group chats. That's right? Rob and Nicholas, these are our leaders. They took action just like at that time when they had the opportunity to do so. That's why before the GrooveAsia launch event, they were already leaders, right? But now is the next best time. So if you want to step up now, at this point in time, it is your opportunity to do so. All right, so join us in our communities, get all the latest updates and all the exciting announcements because they are going to start happening right now. We're going to start taking action and we're going to start putting the pedal to the metal, and it's going to be full steam ahead from this point forward. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here for today. And we are going to see you probably again tomorrow or the next day, simply because we cannot wait to give you some additional updates on what we're going to be doing next. So until next time, take action right now. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you on the inside. Cheers, folks. We'll see you next time. You gotta get into the groove.